Why does hair go gray? Is it inevitable? And what exactly changes inside each strand? Today we'll dig into the biology behind graying hair, melanin, stem cells, genetics, and the science of aging, and separate fact from myth. Quick roadmap. First we'll review hair structure and how color is made, then we'll explore the cellular mechanisms that cause graying, loss of pigment production, oxidative damage, and stem cell changes. Next we'll look at genes and environmental influences, what treatments exist today, and where research is headed. Let's begin. Hair is more than what you see on your head. Each hair grows from a follicle, a mini-organ in the skin. The visible part is the hair shaft, made of keratin. Color doesn't come from keratin, it comes from pigment cells called melanocytes located in the hair follicle's bulb. Hair grows in cycles: anagen, growth; catagen, transition; and telogen, rest. Pigment is produced during anagen, when melanocytes transfer melanin to the forming hair shaft. Two main types of melanin determine hair color. Eumelanin makes hair brown or black. Pheomelanin gives red and yellow hues. The relative amounts and how they're distributed in the cortex determine your natural shade. Amount of melanin per hair and the size distribution of pigment granules vary between individuals and ethnic groups. Gray hair isn't gray pigment, it's hair with little or no pigment. When melanocytes stop depositing melanin into the growing hair, the shaft is produced without color and appears gray, silver, or white depending on the amount of residual pigment and the scattering of light by unpigmented hair. But why do melanocytes stop working? That's where aging, cellular damage, and genetics come in. Hair color depends on two things: mature melanocytes that produce melanin during each growth cycle, and melanocyte stem cells that regenerate them. Melanocyte stem cells live in a region called the bulge. With age, this stem cell pool declines, either by differentiation, death, or failure to self-renew, so fewer pigment-producing cells are available when a new hair cycle begins. Without new melanocytes, hairs grow in unpigmented, Another big factor is oxidative stress. Over time, reactive oxygen species, ROS, such as hydrogen peroxide, build up in hair follicles. Hydrogen peroxide interferes with the enzyme tyrosinase, which is essential for melanin synthesis. It also damages melanocyte function in DNA. Studies have found elevated hydrogen peroxide in gray hair follicles compared to pigmented ones. The net effect: pigment production slows or stops. Aging-related DNA damage and cellular senescence also contribute. Melanocytes and their stem cells accumulate damage from UV, chemical exposure, and metabolic byproducts. When stem cells senesce or undergo apoptosis, the pool shrinks. Aging signaling pathways, like p53, mTOR, and reduced DNA repair capacity, make recovery less likely, pushing the follicle toward unpigmented hair production. Genetics strongly influence when you'll start to gray. Twin studies show a high heritable component. Genome-wide association studies, GWAS, have identified several genes linked to hair color and graying. IRF4 affects melanin production, BCL2 and BCL2L11 relate to cell survival, and genes involved in melanocyte development and DNA repair show associations. Variants in these genes can predispose melanocyte stem cells to earlier depletion or affect melanin synthesis efficiency. Quick notes on a few genes. IRF4, linked to pigmentation regulation and melanin synthesis. MC1R, classic pigmentation gene influencing eumelanin versus pheomelanin balance, variants often seen in redheads. BCL2 family, regulate apoptosis, changes may affect melanocyte survival. Tuester T. Cornado Japper Susar and Tasfubri. RP1. Enzymes in melanin synthesis. These and others shape baseline hair color and when graying may start. Environment and lifestyle can shift the timing. Smoking is consistently associated with earlier graying, likely via increased oxidative stress. Severe nutritional deficiencies like vitamin B12 deficiency and some medical conditions can accelerate graying. Chronic stress has been linked to graying in animal studies. Recent research in mice suggests stress-induced norepinephrine can deplete melanocyte stem cells, though human evidence is still emerging. Quick myth check. Myth: plucking one gray hair causes more to grow. Fact: plucking removes a hair, but it doesn't change the follicle's regulation. You won't create more gray hairs that way. Myth: stress is the sole cause. Fact: stress can contribute, but genetics and aging are primary drivers. Myth: gray hair has different structure making it stronger. Fact: gray hair can be coarser and drier because of loss of pigment and changes in follicle function, not necessarily stronger. Right now, the only widely effective way to hide gray is cosmetic, hair dye. There are topical products aimed at improving hair health, like conditioners and oils, but they don't restore pigment. Some pharmacological approaches are being explored, antioxidants targeted to follicles to reduce hydrogen peroxide buildup, agents that protect or rejuvenate stem cells. Gene-targeted therapies remain very experimental. Clinical evidence for reversing gray hair is limited. A few case reports and small studies suggest transient repigmentation may be possible, but no mainstream medical therapy reliably reverses graying permanently. Research is active. Promising avenues include targeted antioxidant delivery to follicles, drugs that modulate stem cell niches, and better understanding of the stress stem cell link. Advances in stem cell biology and gene editing could one day enable more direct restoration of pigment, but translating that into safe, practical treatments for people will take time. What can you do today? You can't change your genes, but you can reduce modifiable risks. Quit smoking, eat a balanced diet, address deficiencies like B12 if present, protect your scalp from excessive UV, and manage chronic stress. For cosmetic concerns, consult a dermatologist or colorist for safe dyeing options. In short, gray hair results from loss of melanin in the hair shaft, driven by melanocyte dysfunction and stem cell depletion, with oxidative stress, DNA damage, genetics, and lifestyle contributing. Some interventions might help slow the process or hide it cosmetically, but complete reversal is not yet routine. If you found this useful, like and subscribe for more science deep dives. Check the description for links to key studies and sources. Tell us in the comments, when did you first notice gray hairs and what myths did you believe? See you next time.